Well, happy Saturday morning, Empower Living Community. Look
Happy
who I've
Saturday.
got. I got happy Saturday, happy Holly.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you?
I just thought I would, pop on.
See, she does last Saturday, right? And now she's like, what do you do?
The star of the show.
The star of the slowly but surely, I'm gonna be pushed off the edge.
Wow.
We had lots of people.
I'm pretty popular.
You're pretty happy. And well, I don't know what you've done, but all I know is like my house now, our house now, looks like a winter Thanksgiving wonder Christmas land. I don't know.
Yes.
People from all over the world have been giving you what tips and tricks.
Ideas, and I've got all of the craft supplies from the boys come back. We're gonna try everything and see what we like.
Well, the house is already you've already got the house.
Yeah.
What are you, about 70%?
Probably 85.
If you go to Holly Lobby one more time, oh my goodness.
Just one more. We just have one more trip.
You are really going with.
We just have one more trip.
Lynn Brown sent us I never seen
Beautiful
pine
cones.
Like these are. I was going to say they're real. Well, of course they're real.
Yeah.
But we grew up. Pine cones were like this big.
Yeah.
Things things are huge. What
Yeah,
are they for?
they're
What do you
big.
do with? What do you
We're
put
gonna
glitter
make
on them
little
or something?
turkey. No, we're gonna make little pine cone turkeys for Thanksgiving.
With the boys.
and I. Yeah.
Ah, very
Yeah.
cool. So well, that was cool. So you got your own little, little crafts tribe going on.
Yeah.
What were some of the other traditions? I know you said Thanksgiving. We're getting the tree then. You said.
Yep, we're gonna get it that day. Yep, I was surprised how many of you put up your tree on Thanksgiving. We
Yeah.
never. I mean,
Well,
I was gonna say we never.
Well, you're Canadian, you know.
Canadian. We never, our Thanksgiving's in October.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was interesting. I've got a table runner to write gratitudes on during the day, during the meal, which is really cool.
That was a really good idea.
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
Yeah. A pumpkin, like a real pumpkin with a Sharpie marker, you write gratitudes on the outside of that as well. Everyone can kind of
clever.
share and can contribute to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Lots of cool things.
Yeah, well, we're excited. And great epic teaching on
Thank
the law.
you.
I think perhaps that might be the toughest law to teach.
Oh,
Because
thank you.
most people don't understand. I mean, most people don't. They may have heard of the law of vibration, right? Maybe law of rhythm. Those are kind of fairly straightforward. But
Yeah.
the law of perpetual transmutation of radiant energy,
It's a big name.
It's a big name. Yeah, and I thought your exercise that you gave people, I did it, and
Yeah.
I know you were doing it.
Yep.
I thought that was really smart.
Yeah.
Is that if you look at all of the empty space, think of all the empty space out there, and we realize that is a thinking stuff, as Waddle said. That is potential energy. That is God is in that space, right?
Yeah.
That is creative energy.
That's right.
And we can take an idea and impress it upon that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. And that's the thing. That's how it works. Whenever you have an idea, and I think it was Wayne Dyer. It was Wayne Dyer. He said that prayer is the movement that takes place through the finite mind of man to the infinite mind of God. So when you're thinking a thought, you're impressing this into the mind of God, and that's what this empty space is.
Yeah.
It's the mind of God, and it starts there. Everything we see starts that way, right?
That's right.
It starts as an idea. And so I think you had people write down 4 or 5 or something.
10 things.
10 things, right?
Yeah.
We did 10. I did 5.
It's okay.
I did 5 things, and then there were, I think,
5 gratitudes.
5 gratitudes. I thought there was 3 gratitudes.
No,
But
5
maybe
gratitudes.
I did do 5 gratitudes, and then there were the intentions,
That's
which
right.
I thought was clever because if you think about it, whenever hey, have you ever sent an email to somebody and they read it with a different intention, right? Or you read a
Yeah.
Facebook post and it's a different intention, so you know what your intentions are,
Yeah.
And so, if your intentions are good for other people, for mankind, for the world, then okay, then great. Then, it kind of ties into my lesson. Then the world needs you rich,
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if your intentions are good, then go intend, right? And write out what are those intentions. What were some of the things that you kind of wrote down when you were thinking of that empty space? Because we haven't shared ours yet.
One idea that just popped into my mind was going on a Mediterranean cruise with the boys. I mean, we've gone on one, just the two
Yeah,
of us, but I've never thought of
Well, actually, we went with Christian Del Rosario and had
That's
him
right.
photograph
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole
that
thing,
was
which was
amazing.
epic. Yeah.
But taking the boys and giving them that experience of Europe is just from, Europe from the sea is a special way to experience Europe.
Well, it's also a great way because you get to see Spain and Italy and France, and I mean, you can go, you see a lot for your money, right? It's all around. So that came to you, that idea?
Came to me, yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't be doing this. Maybe you shouldn't be doing this exercise anymore.
What about you?
Yeah. Well, I had a couple.
Yeah.
One was, and I haven't. We sold the beach condo.
Yeah.
And it's the condo was just small. It was an older building in 1970, and with the boys coming down, it just wasn't. And we did 100 days in lockdown with the boys in COVID, and a nanny and her 2 children in our condo.
Yeah.
It's a bit much. And now that we're in this big house, I mean, the condo was like 2,000 feet. This is like 2,800 feet. I mean, 6,800 feet. So it's almost,
Triple.
more than triple. But the idea, I do like, there is something about being on the ocean. There's something about water. There's something about just and so the idea of doing another, but this time instead of a condo, like this home, like, I mean, if you could take this and put this at 200 Beach Road.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
It would be an epic way to go.
Yeah.
And so that idea came
I love that.
Yeah. And then another idea for business, our friend Frankie and Veronica.
Oh, yeah.
And so Frankie and Veronica, I met them when, I guess Frankie was 15 years old. He had come from Mexico. Veronica, I met her probably when she must have been 12. She came from, and they worked in my commercial cleaning company. And they met. They didn't know each other. They met. They fell in love, and they got married. And they actually bought my house.
That's right.
They bought my house, and so I've been friends with them for about 30 years. And Frankie and I have always hallucinated about opening a restaurant. Mm-hmm. And I think what we're going to do, the idea came to me, and I've already sent an email to Frankie because the universe likes speed. I think we might do a food truck.
That would be so cool.
Frankie is a really good cook.
Yeah.
And authentic. I don't, what's the taco place we go to?
Papa Chulos or something like that.
I don't know what it is about their cilantro or about their
tortillas.
Their tortilla.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's like
really
authentic.
good.
Like their onion tastes like an onion, right?
Yeah.
Everything tastes authentic there. And I thought that would be a really good truck, a good taco truck. So that was another one. So
now I want tacos.
Yeah, no, great. Well, maybe for lunch. So here's what we'll do. We're studying the laws. We've covered now perpetual transmutation of energy, and this week we're going to cover the law of vibration. So this comes directly from the Fully Resourced. This is going to be about a 15-minute clip of a 45-minute teaching. So that's something for you to remember, that you're getting a piece of, and we're trying to give you the meat, right? So you're getting the piece, but there's so much more in this program. And again, I just invite you. It costs you nothing to jump on the phone with Rick Ruperto and have a conversation about enrolling into the Fully Resourced Mentorship Program, where you have lifetime access to the program and live monthly calls with me. This last call, I did a teaching call.
That's amazing.
People really enjoyed it. So jump on. We'll watch this clip here, and then we'll see you on the other side. Okay?
Okay.
Now, the first thing we want to understand is that everything is energy. This is the first law we're going to look at. It's called the law of vibration. And the law of vibration tells us that everything in the universe is energy. And all energy has a frequency, a vibration. And everything in the universe that is energy vibrates and is in a constant state of movement and change. Now, chances are right now you are inside your home or a building, as I am in this studio. And if you look at the desk or the couch, the chair, the table, or the room you're in, if you look at the walls and the ceiling and the floor, as you see them with your physical senses of sight, your eyes will tell you that they are not moving, that they are still. That's because they're vibrating at such a low rate of vibration that we can't, with our physical senses of sight, pick up any of the movement. We can't even see it move. The opposite of that is that chances are you're in a room right now that has light. But you, with your physical senses of sight, you can't see the light move. That's because it's vibrating at such a high speed of vibration that it's literally moving at the speed of light. That it's vibrating at such a fast speed, we can't even see it. It travels nearly 300 million meters per second. That's how fast light moves. You can't see that with your sight, but you can see the light, but you can't see it move. Just like when you look at the walls and the ceiling, you can see the walls and the ceiling, but you can't see them move. So the law of vibration tells us that everything is energy and that all energy is in a constant state of movement, and that all energy has a calibrated frequency of vibration. And there are millions upon millions upon millions of frequencies of vibration. And you've been gifted with the resource within your mind to tune into every single one of those frequencies in the universe. And you've been gifted and programmed to broadcast out to the universe any vibration you choose. So you have the ability to tune in, and you have the ability to broadcast out frequencies of vibration or energy. This is what separates you from every other living creature. All of the great religions teach us the same things about this giftedness. They teach us that we have been created by a power. They call that power God, and they'll tell us that when God created us, He gave us dominion over all things. And what that means is that we've been given dominion over all things. We've been given authority over every single frequency of vibration. This is really powerful. This is really powerful of an idea that you've been given dominion over all things. You've been given dominion, that there's a resource within you, that you've been resourced from the source of all creation to have dominion over every vibrational frequency in the universe. Now, that's a really important thing to spend some time on and contemplate and understand. You cannot apply the 7 laws in this program if you don't understand this one point. And the good news is, it's easy to understand. Here's the idea, that everything in the universe is energy, and all energy is 100% evenly present in all places at all times. Now think about that. How can all energy be in the same place at the same time? I live on Jupiter Island, Florida. My friend Keiji Oda, who lives in Japan, is energy. And my friend Daniela, who lives in Romania, is energy. And me, I'm energy. How can we be in 2 places at one time? It's impossible. Well, here's what you need to understand. Energy can be in different forms. See, if you really think about this for a moment, you can look at your hand and you can see your physical hand. You have a hand, but you are not your hand. You have a body, but you are not your body. So when I tell you to look at your hand, there's a part of you that is physical in your physical body. But there's also a part of you that was listening to what I was saying. And that part of you was not your hand. And there was a part of you that was observing your hand. And there was a part of you that was thinking about why I was asking you to look at your hand. So you have this intellectual part of you that is also energy, but you're more than your physical body, and you're more than just those thoughts. See, there's something even higher than your intellect, and that you're a spirit or your soul. We know that we can have a person who is missing parts of their physical body, and we know that there are people who have disabilities in their intellect. Not too long ago, I was in Orlando, and there was a young boy who I've been helping, him and his family, 12 years ago, when he was 3 years old, he was in a tragic car accident with his father and sister. His father and sister were killed. Now, young Connor broke his neck, and he broke his neck near the brainstem. So he's physically paralyzed from the neck all the way down. He has no ability to swallow or to breathe on his own. The car accident also bruised his little brain in multiple places, so his conscious awareness and his intellectual awareness are not all fully developed. And yet, you can stand in front of Connor and look down at this young man with a respirator breathing for him, with a feeding tube in him, and seemingly no conscious awareness. And he's there, and you're there, and you cannot help but have your spirit move. And your spirit is moved in response to his spiritual vibration. We are spiritual beings. We've been gifted with an intellect. We're living in a physical body, and we live at all three of these dimensions at the same time, 100% evenly present at all places at all times. You know this. You may just not know the power of knowing this. You know when there's someone you love and care about and they've traveled far away, you know you can carry their being in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit, making them 100% evenly present within you at all times. And you've been gifted with an intellectual faculty. This is your intuition that allows you to tune in to those frequencies of vibration. We've all experienced this. We laugh it off again as coincidence or kind of this out of the blue experience, but think about it this way. Have you ever been thinking of a person that you really care about? And as you're thinking about them, your phone goes off and it's a text message, or you get a ping from your email, or your telephone rings and it's them? And you say, oh my goodness, we were just talking about it. Isn't that crazy? I can't believe it. What a coincidence. No, it's an expression of the law of vibration. Really, in this case, vibration sets up the law of attraction, which is the secondary law of vibration. See, we know when two particles of energy are in harmony with each other, they resonate and attract one another. Now, the very interesting thing is that these particles of energy that have the same rate of vibration and operate at the same frequency of vibration can have completely different molecular structures. Think of it this way. All of us have seen, or all of us have at least been made aware of the idea of a crystal glass sitting on a table. And on the other end of the room, a young 10-year-old boy. And the 10-year-old boy's voice has not yet fully kind of changed and matured, so he doesn't have a deep voice yet. He has a very high-pitched voice, and he can sing at a frequency that we know and call soprano. And he can sing a particular note, and that note, that musical note, is energy, and it vibrates at the same rate of vibration as the molecules and the frequency in the crystal glass. And as the young boy begins to sing the tone, the frequency of vibration in his voice becomes one with the glass. And when they come together and meet, boom, the glass breaks. Two particles of energy in different forms at the same vibration. It also works in the opposite way. We can take water, which is energy and is liquid, and we can take oil, which is energy, and its molecular structure is that it's liquid. And we can try to mix the two liquids together, but because they're not in the same vibrational frequency, they repel each other. They do not attract each other. See, I had all kinds of ideas and beliefs about money, and I had all kinds of ideas and beliefs about rich people. And my beliefs and my vibration about money and about rich people were not positive. and they were not in harmony with the energy and vibration of money. And I can tell you, for the first half of my life, money was in no way attracted to me. Money was repelled against me. In this lifetime, you don't get what you want. You don't get what you wish for or dream for. You get what you vibrate. You get what you vibrate. Everything you have in your life and everything you don't have in your life has a vibrational frequency. And if you're going to change your results, if you're going to attract the things you want in your life, you're going to have to make sure that your vibration matches what it is that you want to create. So when we look at our picture that we just drew, I want you to draw a little puffy cloud thought. We did this earlier in the program, and I want you to do it again. You know, when you see those cartoons and the comics and they show kind of a character thinking and a little puffy cloud pops up, a little thought cloud? Well, I want you to draw one of those little puffy clouds in the conscious mind. And I want you to put a dollar sign or a euro sign or whatever the sign of your currency is in that puffy cloud. Now, that puffy cloud represents the idea that you have right now about how much money you would want to make. That's your dream or your goal. Now, in your subconscious mind, I want you to draw a little box. And inside that little box, I want you to put a dollar sign or a euro sign or whatever sign is in your conscious mind that represents the amount of money that represents your currency. That little box represents what you believe about money and all the kinds of beliefs that you hold about money. Some of us have beliefs that money is really hard for us to make. Some of us believe that only really lucky people have money. You have a belief about money that tells you, how much you believe you can have. You have a belief about how much money you're worth per hour or per year. If you want to know what you believe about money, if you want to know what you believe about how much you're worth, it's really easy to figure out. Look at your current results. Just look at your current income. Look at what you're currently creating. Because the amount of money you earn today is in direct proportion to what you believe you're worth. Remember, we said this is in the subconscious mind is where your self-belief lies. We said this is where our self-image lies. You never outperform your own self-image or your own self-belief. You'll never have somebody believe they're worth $50,000 a year and they'll earn $100,000 a year. Also, you'll never have somebody believe that they're worth $100,000 a year and only make $50,000 a year. Your results will always be in direct proportion to the dominant vibration of your belief. See, that puffy cloud in your conscious mind is an idea. And because it's an idea, it's energy. It has a calibrated frequency of vibration. That little box in the subconscious mind is your belief about money, and it has a calibrated frequency of vibration. Now, here's a really critical point for you to understand. I bet that the amount of money you have in the puffy cloud and the amount of money you want to make is more than what you believe you're worth. I bet the amount of money you want is more than you've ever made before. And the reason I'm so confident in this is because you are a spiritual being. And as a spiritual being, you are always seeking fuller expression and fuller expansion. The spiritual essence of who you are is to always seek more life. If you are a runner, you want to run further and faster. If you're a jumper, you want to jump higher and further. If you sing or play a musical instrument, you want to play better and for more people. You want to create more beautiful music. Your spirit is always seeking fuller expression and fuller expansion. And it's no different when we think about money. I have never done this exercise before and had somebody tell me that their goal was to make less money. No, everybody wants to make more. Now, some people are programmed with a lie that says because somebody wants to earn more money, that they're greedy. That people who want more money, that all they care about is money, so they must be greedy. Somebody wanting more money is not greedy. They're not a bad person. They're a spiritual person, and their spirit is seeking more life and fuller expression. We're back.
Here we are.
See the magic of television, the magic of Kiona and Rachel and Megan editing everything, doing all the work, making it look good. So this law of vibration, the whole purpose of this is not just to gain an intellectual understanding. Certainly, you have to have an intellectual understanding, but it's the application, and I think the closest application or the best application comes from Think and Grow Rich 3. I think it was 3, where I did departure points and arrival points. And so for those of you who were in TAGR 3, you'll remember it. For those of you who don't, as a matter of fact, here's what we're gonna do. If you enroll in Fully Resourced as a result of this video, if you enroll in the next 48 hours in a Fully Resourced, we're going to give you the Think and Grow Rich 3 because it's an epic.
It is incredible.
It's an epic program. We'll give you that as a bonus. Okay. So for anybody who enrolls right now, if you enroll in the next, what did I just say?
48 hours.
48 hours. If you enroll in the next 48 hours, we're going to give you a TAGR 3. And in TAGR 3, what we talk about is you identify kind of where you are. That's your departure point. You're departing towards your goal. And then you have this arrival point. This is the goal. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that our departure point entry, our departure point position and where we are in our lives matches the energy of where we want to go.
That's right.
And so, like for me, I wanted to be rich. I wanted a lot of money, but then I had this belief system, which is energy, right? It has a vibration that rich people were bad. Not a match, because my image of me being a millionaire certainly wasn't me being a mean person or greedy, right?
That's right. Yeah.
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 And so I think what we want to do is we want to think about, people say, I want to have $1 million. And I said, that's great. So what's the vibration of $1 million? And they look at me like, what do you mean? What's the vibration of $1 million? Well, they know that $1 million is 1 comma, and then 6 zeros. So they know what it looks like.
Yep.
They can maybe even imagine what $1 million in cash would look like, right? Most people have never seen $1 million in cash, but you can imagine what euros or dollars would look like. And that's certainly having the vibration on the physical plane. But what's you being a millionaire feel like? And most people don't know. They have no idea what I would feel like. And again, the feeling is the expression of vibration, right? Feeling is the word that we created to define the conscious awareness of our current vibration. So we say, I feel excited. What does that mean? That means you're vibrating at excitement frequency. And so what we want you to do is we want you to think about what is it that you want in your life? What is that dream? And then use your intellectual faculty of memory and go there, yeah?
Mm-hmm. And experience, feel it. I remember when you taught me the whole I am process, but not just the I am exercise of saying, I am rich, I am excited, I am happy, but actually feel how to feel it.
Yeah.
And it was that it's spending some time of sitting back, closing your eyes, breathing, going there in your mind, and feeling the emotion of
the I amness.
Of the I amness, exactly.
Yeah, that's because most people do I am statements as affirmations.
Yeah.
And before you know, it's robotic. I'm happy, I'm rich, I'm successful, but hold it. No. What you want to do is you want to say the I am, you want to anchor it, you want to imagine that state, you want to feel that vibrational frequency so you know it, right? And in many cases, the I ams that we have for our lives were nots, right? Yeah. we want I ams, but we, you know, like I remember when I first started, you know, I'm successful. No, you're not, you know. So we use our intellectual faculty of imagination and memory, and you know, go back and watch those lessons, and we can remember our future. So we can go to a future state and remember the energy of us being successful.
Yeah.
And then share what you do when you, okay, so now I know what the future state energy is. Now I come back to my life. What do I do with my life now? Now that I know what that energy is, and I'm feeling the energy is not a match, what do I do?
As often as it comes into your awareness, shift to what that new energy is, because you do know what that, you've experienced a new energy, you felt it, so you know what that feeling is, even if your surroundings don't match. In fact, that's how your surroundings change, is if you're operating at a different, you're feeling something that's not a match for what you're currently in, it's a higher vibration, then that's how you draw to you what is a match.
You know, I think of what we just did in the last probably month at the house, right?
Yes.
And we went through, I don't know, box after box. We opened every drawer, and we just said, you know what, if we've been in the house for a year, if we haven't used something in a year,
we don't need it.
We don't need it. And so we put a pile for trash and a pile to give away, and those piles got really big really fast. So we went through clothing drawers, cupboards, closets, everything, the garage, and we just realized, you know, you accumulate stuff, and over time, many of those things are not in harmony with the vibration of who you want to become.
Yeah.
And it's static, it's clutter, it's a distraction from the flow of your energy. And so release it.
Yeah.
You know, people, places, and things that just don't match, let go. I mean, there's probably some people in your life that are toxic. I mean, we all have some, you know, we all have some dream vampires in our lives, don't we? And we go back to them and back to them and back to them. We don't feel good. We don't feel enriched. We don't feel alive. We certainly don't feel empowered when we leave their presence. And we're only doing it because of habit.
Yeah. Or obligation.
Or obligation.
You know, their family, I should, yeah. And so, you know, look, I'm not suggesting that you divorce yourself of all of your family, but I'm saying don't go as often and don't stay as long. Manage that state. And before you go into that toxic environment, look, hey, Thanksgiving's coming. Let's face it, a lot of us are going to be around family that we don't necessarily see all the time, and sometimes we wouldn't choose to spend a whole special day with them, and out of obligation or tradition, we're manage your state and go there and saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to go here and I'm going to make sure I'm really managing my vibration. I'm not going to allow someone else's vibration to take me down. Yeah.
And it happens that quick.
Yeah.
So what we'd like you to do is, you know, and maybe we'll send out a worksheet with this.
Yep.
So, you know, think about what it is that you want, and then write down to, you know, like your best description of what that energy state would feel like, what that vibration would feel like. Joyful, expectant, you know, hopeful, calm, peaceful, relieved, certainty, right? And really write down how that feels. Where does that show up in your body temple? Like when you feel this sense of relief, when you feel this sense of certainty, where do you feel certainty? Write all that down. And then come back to your current state, your current conditions, your current environment, your current circumstances. And ask yourself, what in my life, who in my life is not a match?
Yeah.
And, you know, it was Troward in his essay on completeness who said, nothing new needs to be added to you. That when we're going, you know, from an arrival port, when we're going from a departure point to an arrival point, when we're going from here to there, it's not about adding new things to us. It's about releasing things that are no longer a match. So, yeah. So this is the law of vibration. For those of you who jump into the fully resourced mentorship program, we're going to give you TAGR3 as a gift. Which is killer. Hey, also, I think there are a couple of slots. There might be 3 or 4. 3 or 4 slots left for. I'm going to do a mastermind group next year. I've got 6 now, and some of those are up for renewal, and we've created some space for one more group in 2022. If you'd like to apply to be part of one, just send an email to rick@paulmartinelli.net. Somebody will put it in the comments. Look, it costs you nothing to get on the phone and find out from Rick about what it's like, but it's you and me one-on-one, and then you with one of my coaches one-on-one, and then a group meeting every single month. Every single week, you're either with me, your coach, or your group every single month for a year. So would love to have you in it. Okay. Well, thank you, Happy Holly.
Thanks for having me.
Nice surprise. Are you ambushing again next week, or what are you?
I think I'll let you have it.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Be well. Bye-bye.
Thank you.